Hello and welcome to Sestra-Tainment. I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to everything entertainment. So, today I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I am going to talk about the 2024 movie that came out by the name of Argyle.
You took my subject.
Oh, you were going to talk about Argyle?
We can talk about it together.
Okay, we can talk about it together.
Yeah, because that was what I was going to talk about.
Apple TV.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I was waiting for this to come out,
really?
by the way. Oh, yeah. I was like,
wow.
Argyle's on Apple TV. And it was like, coming soon. I was like, you dirty
dogs. So let's go over the cast. Yeah. The cast is Bryce Dallas Howard, who plays Ellie Conway. You have Henry Cavill. I don't know how he pronounces it, but he's basically a Superman. And he plays Argyle. Then you have Dua Lipa as LaGrange. Yeah. You have Sam Rockwell as Adrian. You have John Cena as Wyatt. You have a bunch of people in this. Yeah. You have Andrea DeBose as Kiara. And she is like, what did she win her Oscar for or something, right? Or Golden Globe or something for
West Side Story?
Yeah, West Side Story, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, you have Bryan Cranston as Ritter. You have, you just have a little bit of every.
John Cena. Yeah. Did you say John Cena?
I said John Cena. You have Catherine O'Hare as Ellie's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you could say that Bryan Cranston is Ellie's dad, but they just put on his IMDb as he's Ritter. You have Samuel L. Jackson. Like, you just have, the cast goes on and on and on. And so I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Now, first of all, my mistake, I thought it was a series. So when I started watching
it's just a 17-hour long movie.
I was like, this is the longest first episode ever. And then I clicked on my remote and I was like, oh, this is a movie. And I'm almost, more than halfway through it. Yeah. So, but for the first 10 minutes, you basically have Argyle, who is trying to close in on his target. And it's like an action film, right? So he's in this like ballroom. He's dancing with this woman. It's like a game of seduction. And then all of a sudden violence ensues, of course. And then it turns into a street chase. There's motorcycles. There's, all these things going on. And then eventually a capture. And then, it's like this discovery happens. Yeah. We'll just say that to keep it, still very light, and not give anything away. And then everything changes. Like, there was some discovery like, oh, you got an audio clip or a call or something that happened. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, everything's changing. In the process of that, however, the main character is like talking and saying something. In the process of that, you see that the lips change from being basically, the Superman Argyle character. Yeah. I call him Superman because that's who he plays. But anyway, Henry's character of Argyle to then turning into Bryce Dallas Howard's with lipstick and all of that. And you see that she's reading a character from a book. So Argyle is actually the character in her novel series. Yep. So therefore, the whole time you're watching it, you're just like, oh, I thought I was watching the real person. Like, this is the story. And then you realize that, what's reality and what is fiction. But that happens throughout the movie. So it's a mixture of reality and fiction for the most part. So just because
it goes back and forth.
Right. Yeah. So it's not like just because you now realize, oh, she's reading a fictional character, that Argyle goes away. Argyle is constantly coming back into this movie. And so the main character actually is the author, and she writes these fantastical stories about international spies. And so basically, one of the interesting things about her is that when she writes things, all of a sudden, those things kind of happen or come to life, or they have happened. And how would she even know that? Because it's like secret.
Yeah, it's just spy information.
Spy information.
But how do you know all this spy information?
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, everybody has no idea how she knows what's happening in the spy world, including herself. Like, she just kind of goes within, and then, this is what she comes up with. And so basically, she just says it's based on tons and tons of research. And one day, day, she says, I'm going to go. I'm going to visit my parents. I'm going to hang out with them for a while. I'm going to, talk to my mom about my next novel because I'm having this blockage. Like, I can't really quite put it all together, and I need some insights from my mom. And she kind of, on the train ride to get to her parents, she bumps into this weird guy, really, basically. So he sits across from her. He interjects himself into her conversation, and she's just like, Then he's like, wait, are you the author of this book?
No. She was like, he's reading the book.
Yeah.
He talks about the book. She's like, yeah, I've read it. And then she
tries to hide
her face, and then he opens the book. He's like, "Hey, wait, that's you.
Yeah,
you're the author. There's no way.
You're the author." Yeah. Well, let me just say, in that situation, some crazy twists and turns and drama.
That's when it all
action,
starts and gets exciting.
Everything starts on that train ride. Everything starts, and you're just like, "What in the world is going on?" And so I feel like there's some crazy plot twists in this. There's some good characters, some bad characters, some good people who you think might be good characters are bad, people you might think are bad could be good. You just don't know where things are going. And then Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson. So it's so funny because you're watching this with the mindset of some of this is reality, some of this is fiction, what is what, and you can kind of put together what is what pretty easily, but at the same time, it's like, how is this so intertwined? And even for her, as she's seeing things happen, she's seeing it like it's Argyle doing things
all the stuff,
when it's not Argyle, but she'll like flip back and forth between, is it this person or is it Argyle? Like what is actually going on here? And then you have where she named her cat. She has a cat that she brings with her. So she's bringing the cat on the trip to go see her parents. Well, as different things ensue, she's like, where's my cat? Where is Alfie? I need Alfie. Like this whole thing. And then lo and behold, when you meet Samuel L. Jackson, guess what his name is?
Alfie.
His name is Alfie.
So she's like, where's Alfie? He's like, are you still talking about the cat?
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty interesting and entertaining. And it's one of those things that it did leave me not really knowing what was going to happen next.
Yeah, me either. Yeah.
And some of it broke into like a dance sequence. It just went in weird, interesting places, but I was here for it. I loved it. I'll probably watch it.
It was like Great Gatsby, and then it was like Salt.
It was all over the place.
Because,
it's kind of like what was that one that they Murder on the Dance Floor, and how he just broke out into the dance at the end of the movie, the Saltburn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So remember how it was just you're watching a movie and then all of a sudden it breaks into this little dance thing and the song's playing. Like that happened in this. So I don't know why so many movies are choosing that, but whatever.
Maybe you get extra money if the people like the song. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, so and all of the songs, I don't know if Murder on the Dance Floor is a new song or not, but like the one from Stranger Things was an older song that they started playing and it became famous again.
But Murder on the Dance Floor, I think, is Dua Lipa song.
Oh, so that's newer. Okay. So anyway, and so they had, some, I don't know, maybe that was her song that they were doing something to in this one. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. So anyway, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was like action drama comedy. Yeah, it's an action dramedy. Action dramedy. Yeah. That's what we're going to call it. That's a new coined phrase. And y'all know me. I am not a big laugh out loud person when it comes to comedies in general.
But did you laugh out loud?
Don't like comics. It was a couple of times where I just found myself busting out.
Too.
Like I was like,
yeah, me too.
Wait, okay, did I catch myself there? So I personally would recommend it. I would tell people to check it out. It, to me, was a really good movie. I don't know if there's anything more that you were going to share.
Well, no, you hit all the points that I was going to go to. I was just thinking like, you can't say too much because then you'll give it away.
No, you can't. That's why I'm going very high level.
Yeah.
Like just.
And the movie, well, I would say the movie is long.
About a book,
the movie is a little
going
long.
Back and forth.
The movie's a little long, but it's entertaining the entire time.
Yes.
So it doesn't feel that long because you're watching it and you're just like, all right, how much more of the movie's left? Because you think it's close to the end. No, you still got an hour left. But it's so much that's packed into that first part that you're like, it draws you in.
Yeah, and I like the fact that, you have Bryan Cranston in there and his character and the role that he plays. You have, which again, like I said, was her father, and then Catherine O'Hara as her mom, and how they play into everything is a whole other fun. I mean, I just found that fun, like how they play into everything. Sam Rockwell, every time I watch him in something, all I can think of is The Green Mile, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think of, is him being Wild Boy, whatever.
Yeah, Wild Bill.
Yeah, Wild Bill. And just being
he cooking now.
Exactly, and climbing stuff and getting hosed down and all of that, which is still one of my favorite movies. But I just think of him in that. So everything else I see him in, I just have to readjust my brain to figure out that no, he's not this horrible, terrible person. Do you know what I mean?
Well, see, every time I see him in the same position. I always see him as he was on
what was he in?
Charlie's Angels. And he always dances.
Him on Charlie's Angels.
Always dances.
He always dances. And you know what's interesting? When he's on a talk show, like if he goes on to like Jimmy Fallon or something, he's dancing. He comes just likes out dancing.
Maybe, and you know what? Maybe we need his ancestry and see if he's invited to the cookout.
Maybe he's invited to the cookout. Yeah. But he loves to dance. And like they had a dance off. But then
the fact that they added into movies.
Yeah.
Like, Mr. Right, they added it into the movie. He's dancing in the Charlie's Angels movie. It was another movie that I saw that he was dancing. He's always dancing. But it's funny.
Is it?
He got good footwork. That's what it is.
Yeah, maybe that's.
He has that James Brown footwork.
And he's been in a ton of stuff. Argyle, 3 Billboards in Ebbing, Missouri, The Green Mile, Jojo Rabbit, Iron Man 2, Bad Guys, Mr. Right, Charlie's Angels. I don't even remember him in Charlie's Angels.
Yeah. In Charlie's Angels, he was the bad guy. I think
he's been in everything.
I think that
I like him as an actor.
What's her name? Drew Barrymore. I think that was his love interest. One of the girls was his love interest, and then he ends up tying her up, and then he comes out dancing, and he starts singing "Got to Give It Up" by Marvin Gaye.
Oh goodness, I do not remember.
To be free. Yeah. I remember that part.
Okay.
But no, he's a dancer. He's a dancer, and I do think that but all of his movies, all of the movies that I've seen that I liked him in are all the same. Like this is kind of like Mr. Right.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. See, but it is different than The Green Mile.
It is very different than The Green Mile.
So there you go. So he's versatile.
Yeah,
that's what they say.
But he's.
Versatile.
I think that I haven't seen him in anything where. Because even in The Green Mile, he had those weird reaction things where it was like he was acting goofy.
Yeah. He's always doing something off.
So that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen him in anything where it did not fit his character, of the character that he's already played or anything like that. Because I think genuinely he keeps getting, I don't know if he's typecast, maybe?
Well, I think he probably reads scripts and is like, I can do something with this and I can make it my own. Kind of like Johnny Depp. Well, he has to be a little weird now in everything that he's in. He can't just be normal and play a role. He has to do something eccentric. So maybe that's how Sam Rockwell is. He's just like, oh, let me read this. Okay, it's nothing I can really do with that.
But I feel like Sam Rockwell plays himself.
Right, but I'm saying maybe that's part
Johnny
of it.
Depp is more like totally different. It's
kind of like how
what's his name? Matthew Blanc played Tony. Not Tony played
Who are you talking about?
Matt LeBlanc.
Played who?
On Friends. What did he play?
Yeah. Joey.
I said Tony, and I was like, that's not his name.
Oh, okay.
That's supposed to play Tony. I was like, no, wait, that's Tony. Joey.
You'll do him.
Yeah. But the thing is like the way that he acted and then the way that he talks in interviews, he's like, okay.
Oh, gotcha. So,
And that's how like Johnny Depp is. Johnny Depp is very like monotone when he talks. Yeah. But then when he acts, he is completely method all the way into it.
And some people I have found as actors is that they are only comfortable in front of a camera when they are acting. When they are themselves, it's almost like they've acted so much that they don't even know how to be themselves, and it's very awkward and it doesn't. I feel like what's his name is like that. Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix. I feel like he's like that. Like when you see him do an interview, he's just like weird.
But he's also been through a lot too.
But I mean, but it's just like if he's playing the Joker, he's got that. Like he can play that up, down, sideways. But when he has to be himself, it's like, who is he?
Yeah, but that's how you know it's a good actor when they're.
But I just feel for people like that.
But then it's like, I don't. I don't want to do these interviews. So,
yeah, that's true too.
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But then how many interviews are they doing in the same day?
Yeah, exactly.
When they just sitting in a room and people just keep walking through over and over again.
Yeah,
like, what was that? Notting Hill. I didn't even know that was a real thing until I watched Notting Hill. And I realized it's like, oh no, you're sitting in a hotel room and people just keep coming in and talk to you and the same 7 questions over and over again.
And you're just bored to death.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, but that's what I had. So, Argyle, Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
Great. I highly recommend. All right, what you got, sis?
All right, I'm going to do, since you did that one, I'm going to do a little quick one.
Okay.
That, because Argyle had, a lot of people in it.
Yeah.
I am going to talk about Unfrosted on Netflix.
I do not know what that is.
The crazy thing is, I don't think anybody knows anything about Unfrosted, but everybody who has ever been an actor
is in Unfrosted?
Is in this movie. Okay, so let me go over the cast. Okay, so we have Jerry Seinfeld, who is the writer, director.
Oh, I did see something with the Jerry in it. Yep.
Okay. You have Rachel Harris.
Okay.
You have, these kids aren't really important, Christian Slater, Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hugh Grant, Nelson Franklin, Sarah Cooper, Kyle Mooney from Saturday Night Live, Mikey Day from Saturday Night Live, Drew Charver, I think he's from Saturday Night Live. You have Patrick Warburton, who is the guy who plays, he does all the voiceovers for the guy in the wheelchair on Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Let me see who else you have. You have Amy Schumer, you have Max Greenfield, you have Andy Daly, you have Cedric the Entertainer. You have Earthquake. You have Kyle Dunningham, John Forrest, Sebastian Maniscalco, Beck Bennett. The list goes on. Who else is on here? Melissa McCarthy, Adrian Martinez, Jack McBrayer, Thomas Lennon, Bobby Moynihan, James Marsden.
Wow.
Shasir Zamata. Will Allen, Aparna, man, I'm gonna mess.
I don't know these people who you're naming.
Okay,
but are these people that I know their face?
You absolutely know their face.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know these people.
Like Peter Dinklage is in it.
Oh, Peter, love him.
Yeah, Bill Burr's in it. It's so many people. George Wallace is in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't heard George Wallace's name in forever.
I'm saying. Sarah Burns. You got Cedric Yarborough, who played on Reno 911. Okay. The black dude from Reno 911. It's so many people. Alexandra Wentworth, she was one of the people on Mad TV.
Okay.
It's so many people. Oh, John Slattery.
I thought you said that. Maybe didn't. Okay.
John Hamm.
Okay.
Fred Armisen. Mm-hmm. It's everybody.
He just pops up in everything.
Everybody in their mom. Dan Levy. Come on. Like,
I forgot what I was watching and Fred Armisen just showed up.
Everything.
Yeah. He does. He just
pops up on everything.
And you're just like, okay.
Yeah. So, but then he plays himself because he's just like, yes.
Yeah, he's weird like that.
Like, but then he's the guy that does the rant that's just there to be there.
Yeah.
He has no reason to be in the movie or the TV show. But he just pops up.
And he's in there for like a good 5 minutes, gets his check and leaves.
Exactly. All right. Yeah. So what this movie is about, like I said, is on Netflix. So it's like 1960s. And now the business rivals of Post and Kellogg's are fighting for competition for the top breakfast food. So now it's like Post and Kellogg's going back and forth when it comes to cereal.
Yep.
So then they have the cereal awards. Like, this is such a parody, but it's actually based on some true facts.
Wow.
So, and that's actually a couple of things I'm going to talk about. It's like a parody thing, but it's actually based off of history. So, with Post and Kellogg's going back and forth, they do like this fake award thing, and they are just constantly winning all of the awards. And then the Post table is just sitting there like just smiling like, okay, Kellogg's, y'all got it now. Wait till next year, okay. And then then Jerry Seinfeld and his team are sitting there and just like, but why is Post smiling at us when we have every award?
We're winning, right.
We have won every single award, and they're just smiling.
Yeah.
So Jerry Seinfeld starts walking, and he gets to he sees these kids jump in a dumpster. He's like, what the heck? So he goes up to him. He's like, hey, are y'all okay? And they're just like, don't step in the goo. You want some? They're like, he's like, goo. The kids are sitting inside the dumpster eating this like strawberry goo stuff
That's in the
that
dumpster?
that are in containers. And they were like, this is so good. Like, we love it, blah, 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 blah. And they was like, well, you should take this cake piece and mix it in with the goo and eat it. And it's so delicious. So now these two little kids who are Pops Up, it's basically the two little kids make Pop-Tarts. They are the reason that Pop-Tarts are a thing.
What? So the goo went into the cake and that became a Pop-Tart.
So Jerry Seinfeld's character bites into it. He's like, oh, kids, I think you have something. And then he leaves them in a dumpster. And then he runs away. And then he goes to his boss and tells his boss.
Can he act in this? Or is he still grinning and goofy and whatever? Because, on
goofy.
Seinfeld, he would always grin at his own
He's still kind of
lines.
himself, but like not. I mean, it's hard to explain.
It's a better actor than he used to be.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, gotcha.
But, so he goes and he was like, hey, look at this. You need the goo and the cake. You put it together. And this is out of Post's trash can. Like, their dumpster. There's two kids. And they're like, wait, two kids in the dumpster? He's like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the goo.
Right.
So
get the kids.
Yeah. So now keep going. And
so they threw it away thinking it's not something viable for us to do.
I think it's because they haven't perfected it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the whole movie is literally about them going back and forth to see who can get the stuff out faster. They had the name they took some letters of everything that was in it or whatever. And while the letters, they were like, oh, well, if we take these letters and put them together, we have, I can't remember what it was called, but it wasn't Pop-Tart.
That was something else.
It was something else. And then the guy who plays Walter Cronkite.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
is sitting there. He's just like, I love these. These little cake things are amazing. And blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I can't read what this says. It's a little smudge. Pop-Tarts are the name of these things. And they're like, wait, did he just say Pop-Tarts?
Yeah.
We didn't say Pop-Tart. We didn't want to call it Pop-Tarts. Yeah. And Fred Armisen's character is the one who has to come in from like the FDA to go ahead and prove it.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, go ahead, sign this. And he's like, oh, Pop-Tarts. And he takes like a little nibble. He's like, oh, these are so delicious and blah, 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 blah. Do you have some milk? And he's just taking forever. Post is ready. Post is like making them and ready to get the stuff out. And they're like, no. We got to do it fast. Fast. We're trying to get it on shelves. So it's that competition back and forth.
So they both were trying to create Pop-Tarts and Kellogg's was getting it out first.
Kellogg's was stealing from Post.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
It's kind of like that one that I talked about a while back where it was like Mattel and the Hot Wheels and the like all these different
going back for
when
you were talking about was the toys that made
the America. Mm-hmm.
So but it is the people that are in it. So you have how they ended up getting Pop-Tarts together was, all right, we need to figure out something for this cereal. We need to put prizes in it. So what do? They go and get a dude who can. And this is a parody, understand this?
Yeah.
But they go and get a guy who builds bicycles. And they was like, hey, if you can make something that's small enough for us to sit inside
put in the box.
Yeah, he's just like, I make bicycles. Like, what do you expect from me?
Yeah.
He makes one, and it's like, but we can't fit it in the box. That is a adult bicycle. Yeah,
it needs to
what
be
are we going to do with that? They also get...
I'm surprised they didn't go to the person who did Cracker Jacks, because you used to always Cracker Jacks have the little prizes and the little magnifying glass and stuff like that.
But they also get Melissa McCarthy, who she is whipping up food.
I didn't even remember you saying her name.
Yeah. She is whipping up food for the astronauts going into space.
Freeze-dried ice cream.
Yeah. She's like, hey, do you like such and such? Well, you're eating it in space.
Mm-hmm,
She's talking to, all the guys. And then, Jerry Seinfeld just pulls up and just like, hey, come on with me. She was like, I'm going to the moon. He was like, no, you're going to come over here with me.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, you can build your own team. So she gets some dude who's German, who he might have been the bike inventor.
Okay.
But him, and then they did like a little joke thing on it because, Jerry Seinfeld is Jewish. So they made a joke and was like, yes, I was from Germany and I moved to Argentina. And it was like, what years did you live in Germany? And he was like, what? I'm sorry? I do not understand that question. Yeah. But then he was like, but I live in Argentina now. Okay. No more questions. Mm-hmm. So they have that. Then it's Chef Boyardee.
Uh-huh.
They get Chef Boyardee.
Wow.
They get a scientist. They get all these weird people, put them together.
I wonder how much of any of this is true. Did you Google it?
I didn't Google how much was true, but I feel like it was like a parody thing because then it became that they made one of the guys was actually like, hey, why don't we do baby seahorses as a prize?
Oh, there were baby seahorses in something at one point.
Jeez,
I mean, like a plastic seahorses and something, not real ones.
Okay, well, they were talking about baby seahorses, but then it was the baby seahorses and then Chef Boyardee. So it was like, hey, chef, we need you to make a pastry that has this and this in it. And, you know, he was like, okay. He's like, what is a pastry? He's like, it's like ravioli. So now he's making this ravioli thing, but it's moving around. Why is it moving around? Because it has all of the seahorses that now come to life and it's moving around. Oh my gosh, yeah. Then what makes it funny and takes it to a whole stupid level, which I love stupid. They follow the ravioli. The ravioli ends up being like a kid, and the ravioli's running around causing a ruckus everywhere he goes. Because now apparently the ravioli is alive.
Oh my goodness.
So then you have the German guy and Chef Boyardee are together living in a house, and there's music playing really loud, and Chef Boyardee's banging on the door, and he's like, hey, cut down that music. Right. And then the door opens, and then it slams in his face, and he's like, you get your son. He's like, oh, so now it's my son? Yeah. Now it's my son that you want me to get because he doesn't like you right now. It's like, hey, Ravi, you know. So it's really cute how that ends up being like something just silly that was in there. But with this whole thing, it actually goes, well, once it goes to the end, it actually pays homage to Mrs. Post, who gives all the information about her, with her being the only female business owner that had the biggest company, cereal company and breakfast company, like throughout the 60s or whatever. And this how she had to navigate through life being only woman, and then dealing with that, and then dealing with people not paying attention to her because she's a woman and things like that. So it does go into some deep stuff, but it is funny, it's cute, it's a little parodies kind of type movie. And it's called Unfrosted. Like I said, it is on Netflix.
Yeah, I was just
watching. Everybody is in it.
Yeah, I was just looking it up to see, and they said Unfrosted, Jerry Seinfeld's Netflix movie, is about the origins of Pop-Tarts, and it's fictionalized account of the real-life rivalry between Kellogg's and Post for the breakfast pastry. While Seinfeld said this movie includes some elements of reality, he said the rest of the story is complete lunacy.
Yeah. It's so funny.
It's completely crazy. And then it goes into like the rivalry. It talks about how both were based in Battle Creek, Michigan. Yeah, so they were both based in the same place. Yeah. That you had...
The movie made it look like they were across the street from each other. Like they could see each other.
They said
like, what are they doing over there? I see smoke coming out of the billows. Billows of smoke coming out. Yeah.
They said that according to Pop-Tart's website, the name actually was inspired by Andy Warhol's pop art.
Yes, that's what they were saying. They were saying, we don't want it to be too close to Andy Warhol's pop art.
Yeah.
But, you know, and they was just like, Pop-Tart. Okay, well, we're going to have to go with it because that's what Walter Cronkite said.
Oh, it was going to be called Fruit Scones.
Oh, yeah, it was going to be called Fruit Scones, but then they had another name.
And they said that name sounded terrible. Yeah. And then, some other stuff. So, it's pretty cool. So, it's talks about on the Google, Googling it, like Jim Gaffigan is Mr. Kellogg. Yes. And then Bob Cabana is Jerry Seinfeld, who reported to Kellogg. Yeah. So, that was his boss. And then Thurl Ravenscroft was Hugh Grant, who was the voice of Tony the Tiger.
Yeah. Oh, I forget about that. There was a whole thing about the mascots of the cereal all banding together because they took all their money and put it into Pop-Tarts and trying to perfect it, that all of the mascots from the commercials got fired.
Oh, gosh.
So now Hugh Grant is a theatrical actor.
Yeah, they were like Shakespearean.
Yeah,
actor.
he's a Shakespearean actor. Yeah. He's like, they have not heard the last of us. And then he's like standing outside, like he has paint. He has like tiger paint all over him and everything. And there are nothing but like you see the little Apple Jacks apple. You see everything is out there. Sugar Smacks, the little
all of the different
like the
characters.
From Sugar Smack, they're all out there. And then they storm. they stormed the building, the Kellogg's building, like January 6th.
Oh, wow.
That's how they storm, and it was so funny. Okay. And they go in and they're just like, it's over. Okay,
yeah.
Well,
that's it.
Better luck next time, guys.
Yep.
All right, come on, let's go. Let's go and go back outside. Hilarious. So, yeah, it is funny, but it's like a dumb humor. So
yeah, it happens.
It's entertaining. Let's say that it is entertaining. It gives you a little bit of history while also giving you crazy, stupid storylines.
There you go. Well, hey, what more can you ask for?
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I do like how at the very end it does pay homage to Miss Post.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, awesome.
Yep. So that's what I had. Unfrosted.
So, I have next the excuse me, the hot topics.
Hot topics.
I do have some hot topics.
Please say that.
Hot topics. And so one is bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. And so I almost feel like I can just stop
bleach blonde, bad built, bleach blonde.
So you had a whole situation in regards to let's
eyelashes
just say,
and bodies.
Right. So Marjorie Taylor Greene came after Representative Jasmine Crockett about her eyelashes. I mean, why are you going to talk about this on the floor? I don't understand. Like, why is this even a part of the conversation? But she was like,
you probably can't understand because your eyelashes or something like that.
Yeah, like, what? Like, what? Okay. So she made a personal dig.
Yes.
In the process of doing that, Jasmine Crockett, who is brilliant, by the way, just because she's a black woman who was voted into office that Marjorie might think didn't deserve to be there.
She reminds me of AOC. Remember when AOC used to be so outspoken and everything was out there? Yeah. She's the new AOC. But AOC gets into it. She's like, baby girl. Oh, baby girl.
Yeah, baby girl. Yeah, exactly. So it was a production, I think. And so she was like, okay, so Marjorie Taylor Greene, or MTG as people call her, but they were like, she wanted to pass a bill to say, well, we can just speak to whatever we want to speak to. Like, we don't have to be so, defined. And so Representative Crockett was like, okay, so let me get this straight then. So what you're saying is that if I called someone here in this room, bleach blonde, bad built, butch body, that's acceptable. That's okay. Yeah. And when I tell you some of the other representatives, like one of them was like, a what? Say that again?
The dude that she had asked, he was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? She's like, oh, Lord.
And then
so you see her sitting there like, oh Lord, okay, so she can say what she wants to say to me, but I can't say
anything. Yeah. Okay. And then like Miss Crockett and she was like, and then Marjorie, this is not right. We should not be doing this. And she was like, you just voted to say that we should be able to do this. So I'm doing that. Well, now what has come out of it is that Representative Jasmine Crockett has filed to trademark.
Yes.
The bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. Yeah. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is not happy about it at all. But she'll be all right.
I saw a video.
Oh, really?
Of a lady. She said, just touched down in D.C., walking through the airport. She said, look at this bleach blonde, bad built, butch body right here. She's like, oh, you don't like that. Oh, sorry, excuse me, security. And keeps walking because Marjorie Taylor Greene was in the airport.
The airport.
Yeah, she just walks right past.
So now everybody's just going to talk about her like that. Like, that's her new name. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyway.
B6.
I mean, the iterations of the B's is like the proliferations of it all. How did you even come up with that? But that's what says she's brilliant. So we have that. We have Diddy.
Yeah, Diddy just.
I mean.
Oh, and they said 50 Cent is petty. You know how 50 Cent is petty.
50 Cent has sold the rights to Diddy Do It.
Let me tell you
D-I-D-D-Y. Not did he. Diddy Do It. But and it was a war between Netflix and TMZ for the rights, and Netflix won. And so he already started the documentary, actually. And so
But he has been talking about Diddy.
For a long
He was
time.
like, this man gonna tell me, come on, man, we can go on my yacht, we can go over to such and such, I'm gonna take you shopping. He said, ain't no grown man taking me shopping.
Like, why would I go with a grown man?
You gonna buy all my stuff? What? Get out of here with that BS. Yeah.
So yeah, and then people are like, but he took Meek Mill shopping or whatever, and then people have things to say about with Usher. They have things to say about Justin Bieber,
everybody,
and just all these
and then
different.
Supposedly the white girl that he had adopted.
I think
supposed to be some white girl that he had adopted, and she's missing.
What?
That was a long time ago.
I don't know anything about.
I can't remember what her name was, but yeah, that was a thing.
Interesting. But another woman this week has filed an 8th lawsuit against Sean P. Diddy Combs. And this one is accusing him again of sexual assault. This is the 8th lawsuit, but the 7th that's specifically about sexual assault. We already saw the video of him and Cassie with the hotel and him, dragging her and beating her and kicking her and the whole 9 yards. He came out with his statement, which wasn't really an apology. It was more of I was in a bad place. I've gotten help.
Yeah, that's not
period.
An apology, yeah.
No, but it's like nothing about, and this is what I did, and I'm apologized to this person for what I did.
Yeah,
and
he was like, I did it, and I shouldn't have done.
I was in a bad place. You didn't even say I was. I was in a bad place. That's why I did it. So when I'm in a dark place, that's what you do. And it's like, no, that is not what people do.
Exactly.
And so, but they said that the person who now has her lawsuit, her name is April Lampros.
And she is Monica Lewinsky smart.
Oh, what do you mean? Like,
go ahead. You know the story about this?
No, you can tell it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, so she was a model or something like that. She was supposed to be.
She was a Fashion Institute, New York Fashion Institute student who he was saying, "I'm taking under your wings. I have Sean Jean. You can come and do that." But it turned into a relationship, and he never even mentored.
Oh,
her.
this is the relationship one. Is this the white girl?
It became
Is this the white girl?
Oh, I don't know what she looks like.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking. It was the same one. But anyway, so the girl said that somebody brings her up to Diddy. Diddy was like, "Here, let's drink." And she was like, "I don't really want to drink." He was like, "No, you're gonna drink this." So she drinks. They're doing the drugs was in her system. She said she could feel herself going in and out. And then he had taken off her clothes, and then put on her clothes, but kind of like halfway put on her clothes, stuck her in a taxi, and then shipped her off. And she was like, wait, did I just get sexually assaulted? Mm-hmm. And she could realize, as she was driving, she was like, oh my God, as the taxi was driving, she was like, oh my God, I could feel it. I got sexually assaulted. And she took those clothes, went home. I think she vacuum sealed them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
With all the evidence on it.
Oh,
that's why I said LaMonica Lewinsky smart. So she still.
Well, I don't know if that was Monica Lewinsky. That was the other lady that told Monica to do that.
Oh, okay.
So Monica didn't do it on her own, but yeah.
But she said she just kept it in the back of her closet because she had to sign an NDA.
Oh yeah, and
until
that's
the right
the thing.
time.
That's my point. Is that when people make you sign an NDA, it's for a exactly. they are doing something wrong for them to force you to feel like you have to sign an NDA. So if everybody in somebody's presence has to sign an NDA, now I can get it. If you're working for me as my assistant and you're helping me with medical appointments, you're helping me with all these things. Okay, an NDA because I need you, right. I need you to keep things quiet in regards to that. But when it comes to just you being in my presence, you need to sign an NDA. Okay, what are you doing in my presence that is making it so you don't want word to get out about who you are and what you do. So that's the part that to me is always questionable when everybody is like, I can't say anything because I signed an NDA. Then that tells me right there, okay, so there's some stuff that's going on that shouldn't be going on. Yeah. But that also is unfair to those people because now people are like, there were people around Diddy. They knew what he was doing and they should have said something. And it's like, but I signed paper. I would have been sued. I would have been sued. How do you resolve that? Do you say, okay, let me go ahead and say this. No one will believe me because nobody has believed anybody up until they saw that video, it seems like. Yeah. And then I put myself out there. I now get sued and he's going to come at me with all his money. I might not have the same amount of money to defend myself. And now I'm sued and nobody believes me and they talk about me.
Now, here's my question about NDA. So even with the NDA, even if it was something that happened that it was illegal, the NDA is not null and void. I'm going to have to, Mikey P, I'm going to have to ask you some questions, Mikey P.
I think that when you sign a non-disclosure agreement, you are signing to not disclose anything that you may be aware of.
But so it doesn't matter if it's illegal or not. It's just no matter what, you can't say nothing.
I would guess. I mean, I guess if you watch somebody murder somebody, you can say something, but I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah, what are the rules?
Yeah, what are the rules?
We have questions. We have
questions. Yes. So yeah. So anyway, so that is Diddy Do It will be coming out at a Netflix opportunity near you. And then the other thing that I thought was kind of interesting is Warren Buffett and Bill Gates are hoarding cash. Does anybody know that? So I happen to have been on vacation and, minding my own business because I was out of the country and it wasn't much I could understand in another country. Right, exactly.
You was like, wait,
I was like,
in the US.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even know what's happening in the United States. And it actually felt pretty good.
Yeah,
to not know what's happening in the United States.
But then you know what? It actually felt pretty good to hear, Butch, bad, Bleach, bad, you know what I'm saying? So,
Gotcha. Yeah, so it was a catch-22 scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
You win some, you lose some. And so, yeah. But Bill Gates liquidated $1.7 billion of his portfolio, mirroring what Warren Buffett had done to stockpile
How
cash.
much?
$1.7 billion with a B.
Okay.
And so what
purge is coming, guys.
They are doing is selling off sizable chunks of their portfolio. They've done that over the past quarter or so. They have, they, of course, are two of the largest companies with Berkshire Hathaway and Microsoft, and, of course, some of the top 5 billionaires in the world. And so basically they are hoarding cash, and no one really knows why. They're like, oh, are they feeling as though this is something that is leaning towards, just getting out of it and being more cash on hand, more cash ready, just in case? Or is it that we just want to get out of certain stocks, I'm just selling my shares of X, Y, and Z stock to get out of it in this bearish or bullish market or whatever the case may be.
Something's about to happen around these parts.
Something could be
That's
happening.
what I said. Do they have underground bunkers like the Instagram do?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But it says here that besides reducing the size of his stock portfolio, Bill Gates also reportedly is selling 2 of his super yachts, the Wayfinder and the Project 821, both of which will bring him in roughly $642 million additional dollars. Yep. And so they said that, is it time for regular everyday people to now sit out of the stock market and not really put any additional money in and invest? Because it says here that, it suggests that because they're taking their money out, a bearish outlook is going to be in the future, meaning that the stocks are going to start coming down. And so basically they're like, so does that mean if you put your money in now, you're going to lose because I buy something at 100 and it's going to go down to 50, well, then I lost money versus it being a bull market where I put it in and then it's going to go up to 150, And so, so they're like, it's really hard to say, like, is it worth considering not investing right now and just holding on to your own cash or cashing in? But of course, they don't want everybody to cash in because then that'll just mess up the whole economy. So I think it's kind of hush hush. I only stumbled upon this article. I do not know.
It's an article, so it's already out there.
It's an article, but it's like Yahoo Finance. Like, it's not even something that is like...
So it would be certain people, only certain people
certain people who are looking for certain things would see it. I think the only reason it showed up for me is that I was Googling something else about Warren Buffett because I was remembering that Warren Buffett had one of the most expensive stocks in the world, like Berkshire Hathaway, and how much it was like, it's a B, and a C or something like that. It's different ones. And so I was remembering that, and I said, oh, how much is his stock right now? I just happened to be on vacation wondering about Warren Buffett's stock price. Yeah. And so when I Googled that,
split, right? He won't split.
He has split it in the past, one of them, but not the other one. The other one he just lets continue to grow. And so, and he might have split it since then, in recent times. But anyway, so long story short, I was just happening to look at that. And I think that's the only reason that I stumbled upon it was because now that I Googled something, now something with that person's name in it is going to start showing up on my feed. And that's how I think the Bill Gates part showed up because the tagline really was on Benzaga is the name of the article that wrote about this, but they said that Bill Gates liquidates 1.7 billion of his portfolio mirroring Buffett. So I think because it talked about mirroring Buffett and stockpiling cash, that is why. And I was asking a question about how much Buffett's stock was for. So long and short, do what you need to do. I mean, he reduced his stake in Microsoft, which he owns, by 1.7 billion shares. So there's that. The average price for him was $404 per share, and he took away a million shares. I said a billion, a million shares of his own stock, 1.7 million. And that's how he is, estimated to get around 1.72 billion. And he got 700 million just from doing that. So as he's selling all the other things, that's how he's getting up to 1.72, which probably also includes the 2 super yachts. So there's that. So things to think about, things to make you go,
Not the Arsenio.
You remember that? So just everybody be mindful. So sis, what do you have next?
Okay, so I would like to talk about another thing that is on Netflix called The Book of Clarence.
Oh my gosh.
Did you watch it?
I started to watch it on the plane and I was like, no, I didn't even. It is too much for me. It was not for me.
Why?
Nope, it was not for me. But go ahead, continue. I want to hear more. I want to hear your take on it because, I'm not into that kind of stuff.
All right, so Book of Clarence is, here, let me go over the cast first. The cast is Lakeith Stanfield, who plays Clarence and Thomas. Yeah. Omar Sy, who plays Barbaros. I don't have to say everybody's name. All right, Anna Diop. You have RJ Seiler, you have David Oyelowo.
Yeah.
Michael Ward, Alfred Woodard, Tiana Taylor, Caleb McLaughlin, where he is a grown man now. The little boy from Stranger Things. He's a grown man now. Marianne Jean-Baptiste. Who else? James McAvoy. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, I love Benedict Cumberbatch.
Nicholas Pinnock. And that's pretty much the people that you need to know. So, Alfred
Woodard.
Yeah, I said Alfred Woodard.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, and her. I was just talking about the people I love that you mentioned.
So, basically, the Book of Clarence is based in 33 AD. Okay. So, this is 33 years after Jesus is born.
Mm-hmm. Now, after death, AD, you said.
No, AD is anti-denominated, so it's after his birth.
Oh. Before Christ, after death, I thought was what it was.
No. Oh, okay. Because what is that time in between? It's 33 years. So it's just like 33 years that we don't have any time for?
Yeah, pretty much. But go ahead, continue.
But no, so it's It's BC and AD.
Okay.
So so it starts from when, the years start from when he was born.
Okay.
So, with that, with it being that year, it is the exact year that he's crucified. That Jesus is being crucified. Okay. So just know crucifixions is out here. Okay. The Romans is like, nail him to the cross, nail him to the cross, nail him to the cross. Give me your information. I'll give you some silver. All right. Now nail him to the cross. That's what they were doing. Nail him to the X. Nail him to the upside down cross. All these things. It was big crucifixion time. Okay. So the story is about Clarence and his road dog Elijah. Okay. Now they are street pharmacists. Oh. Mm-hmm. But it's for lug weed. Okay. Which is basically weed, but I mean back then there was nothing no weed that was illegal or anything. But he was just he's the one who had it. But how they made it seem was he was walking through the streets and was like, "Hey man, yo, you got that?" So it made it look like he was actually being a drug dealer. Okay. Then it's him and Elijah on chariots, right? Mm-hmm. And they're racing.
Yep, I saw that part.
So while they're racing, they're like, yeah, we about to win this. We about to have money. We about to have a come up. And they're racing against Mary Magdalene. Mm-hmm. Mary Magdalene was like, Psh, I got you. I'm going to beat y'all. Y'all can't do nothing. It's 2 of y'all is one of me. I'm lighter. I'm going to win. Yeah. So, that is what happened. Mary Magdalene wins. They end up losing. And as they lose, there were some people who are out in the streets who was like, hey, run your pockets. Let me take this chariot. So then they steal the chariot and then dip off. So now they're just like, man, now we're out of a chariot and we're out of like money. We got to give our money to Jebediah. Like Jebediah is coming for us. So Jebediah is like, how I watched it was how you would see it for somebody being like the mafia.
Okay.
And then it's like the little men who work underneath them. That's how I was seeing it.
Okay.
So now Jebediah is like sending his guys, go get my money. So Clarence is just going around and he's like, yo, who is this dude who's coming over here? And it's like, so you see these 12 dudes walk up and then they all stand there and they all look like, how they stand is how the Nation of Islam dudes stand.
Yeah.
I'm saying like all militant. They're standing right there and then the guy walks through and it's Jesus. Now they don't show Jesus' face. They don't show Jesus' face at all. It's just the sun is so bright that you can't see his face. You just see like the hood thing that he has, like a scarf over his head. So it's like, who is that dude? It's like, yo, that's the Messiah. Like he going around turning water to wine at parties. Like he be walking on water. Yo, he had 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread and fed like a multitude. So like that's how they talking. He's like, man, can't nobody do that. There's nobody that can do that. It's some kind of tricks. Like we got to figure out what his tricks are, because then we can have a come up. We can be the new Messiah. I can be the new Messiah. So like Elijah's like, yeah, I want that one day. He's like, no, I want that right now. So what does he do? He goes around. He's telling people he's the new Messiah. So he's telling people, he's like, Elijah, all right, here's what I need you to do. Okay, pretend like you blind.
Okay,
and then I'm gonna talk really loud and get people
Make
around,
you to see.
and then you'll be able to see. And it's so funny how he did it, because he was like, I can see, but his eyes was crossed. He did it like that. So, and then it was like, he was raising people from the dead and everything. It's kind of like probably what people were doing, trying to pretend like they was like Jesus so they can get money back then. Now with him doing all of this, he actually gets a heart and a conscience.
Okay. Trying to scam people, he gains a heart.
Yes. Okay. But like while he's doing all the scam stuff, like while he's thinking about doing the scam stuff, he realizes, yo, that's my twin brother who's following Jesus. My twin brother Thomas. So he goes to him, what's up, Thomas? Peace be unto you, Thomas. Peace be unto you, Thomas. And Thomas turns around and was like, oh, hey, my brother Clarence, blah, 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 blah. They start talking back and forth, and he was like, yo, I'm still pissed off at you. Clarence is telling Thomas, I'm still pissed off at you. You want to go and follow this dude that you know nothing about. But our mother was on her deathbed when you left. And you trying to say you're a better man than me? But you following this dude, but I stayed and I held our mother's hand while she died?
Yeah.
But you trying to put me down and so now they are estranged brothers. They're estranged twin brothers. So that's what made him push to be like, oh, I'm going to be a Messiah now because I'm going to get this money since everybody thinks that I'm not worth nothing. I'm going to show y'all what I'm worth.
Gotcha.
Now, as he starts to build a conscience, now he's starting to do things that he normally probably would not do. So he goes to like the gladiator type area, and he's like, hey, look, so I'm just coming to let you know, I'm gonna go ahead and like free all these dudes in here, but I just want to let you know that that's what I'm trying to do. So we cool, like they can leave. And he's like, yeah, they ain't going nowhere. He was like, how about this? If you fight my one guy, and I can't remember what they called him. You fight him and you win, you can go ahead and take them all.
Oh, okay.
He was like, but if he wins, then he wins his freedom.
Okay.
So now they're fighting and everything, and Lakeith Stansfield like holds his own, because this is a big dude. And as he's coming to it's actually the dude who plays Lupin.
Oh yeah, Lupin.
Yeah.
I like
so
that.
As he's coming and he's like about to hit.
Does he sound French?
No.
Okay.
But as he's going to fight, he ends up punching him and stuff like that. So he gets a little they have a back and forth type thing. But Barbarous is brolic. Like he's like, nothing hurts me. He's like, I'm immortal. I've been stabbed. I've been stabbed so many times. I pulled spears out of me. He's like, the only part of me that is
penetrable or whatever
is my Achilles.
Achilles tendon.
Yeah,
the Achilles,
so that's the only thing. So now
it's like Hercules.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's like, okay, so it goes from there to the story of how they go through. He's like, now I'm going to be the 13th apostle. Like, I'm out here and I'm showing you, like, I am worth this. Like, I can do this. And his brother's like, nah. Everybody's like saying, no. Like, you can't be around here. You're nothing compared to us. You don't follow him. Jesus walks up and was like, hey, look, y'all chill. Hey, man, I see you have a good heart, but, we're going to have to go through some things and, see what's happening.
Right.
But when this is all happening, it is, what's his name? Judas. Judas has to point out who Jesus is. But then it's also somebody else who's like, yeah, I can give you the whole Messiah over here. His name is Clarence. It's like, Clarence is not the Messiah.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus is a Messiah. He's like, no, it's Clarence. Clarence said he's a Messiah. It's like, we're killing all the Messiahs. It doesn't matter.
So now they want to kill Clarence.
Yeah. So Clarence actually has to do... Clarence goes through the whole... what is the name of that Mel Gibson movie?
Passion of Christ.
Passion of the Christ. They showed that kind of thing where like his mother is, which is Jean Baptiste. She is on the side. She was like, they always trying to kill my babies and blah, 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 blah. So it's like the police making him go. And then the police are trying to kill him. And then, the young black mother is like, they always want to kill our babies and stuff like that. So it does have a lot of meanings and stuff like that to it. That, like little things that you can, like Easter eggs that you can pick up. But it is still on the biblical level. So it's another story that is, like I said with Unfrosted, it's another story that is the like fake meets like fact meets fiction.
Fiction, got it.
So that's how it's put together. So they even show Clarence going up to John the Baptist and was like, hey man, look, so I want to get baptized and you the man to do it. And John the Baptist was like, so you want me to baptize you? Like, to go follow my boy Jesus? And then he's like, yeah, come on, let me baptize you right quick. And he's just like dunking him down and like trying to kill him and bring him back up. He's like,
yeah.
And then Elijah's like, praise God.
Oh,
hallelujah, praise God. But
I just felt like it was a little too all over the place for me when I first started watching it. And then I'm like, wait, it's a Book of Clarence. Why is he getting high? Like, it was a lot going on for me initially. And I was like, I do
love the little things that they're doing. So, like, how they're getting high is because of the fact that he walks into this place where everybody's smoking hookahs and he's giving out his lung weed. But then people are now floating.
Yeah, so you start floating, it's flipping upside down.
And it's like, you're not trying to levitate with us? And he's like, nah, I got to keep my head clear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's how I like it, where you take something from nowadays and put it to, like the past history and stuff like that. 100%. So that's what I had.
Okay.
Book of Clarence. It is on Netflix. I think it's good. I think it's really good. I mean, I want to watch it again because I'm sure I missed some stuff.
Yeah, probably so. Especially if it had a lot of undertones and Easter eggs and things like that in there as well. So, all righty. Well, I think that might be it for this week's episode of Sestra-Tainment. I hope everybody has an amazing week. Yeah. And we'll be back next time. Take care. Bye.